guys, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And Halloween ain't till mañana, but we got some shit for you today.
Station.
Shit. So, guys, I was just perusing the internet as I'm one to do on weeknights.
How's Pornhub doing? Gay sex.
Don't tell them about my secrets, Ed. As you guys know, the great news, Halloween today, upon us, came this past week when they announced that not one but two Halloween sequels are going to be coming to us in 2020 and 2021. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. To me, still love both fucking titles. You still like them too, don't you?
I like them, yeah. Yeah, actually, I don't mind them, but it kind of feels like you would just put it in like a random name generator on Xbox, and you're like, yeah, that feels good.
I love it.
I know they're good, but it's like that thing, like you would put it in a random name generator, and it was like it spits out like fucking Eiffel 65, and you just run with it. And you're like, it's gonna work.
That's how they did it. Is that the I'm blue?
Yeah,
if I was good.
Yeah, based on the pop-up videos, they said they put their name in a random generator, and it's popped out Eiffel.
Oh, okay.
65. Yeah.
There's a backstory there. VH1 pop-up video.
Loves it.
But no, I see a lot of people hating it online, and I understand. But I don't
hate it, but
I think Halloween Kills is so 80s slasher. It's just fun as shit. But anyways, Danny McBride said we start in September, shoot them back to back with a breather between, but they'll be out in 2 consecutive years, 2020, 2021. You get a breather this year, and then for the next 2 years, it's going to be crazy. This part I find really interesting because when you look back at what they did with Halloween 2018, if you remember certain characters that seemed like they should have had more important roles, like Cameron, the boyfriend, whose story never really went anywhere.
Yeah, the pudding boy.
There was a Halloween deleted scene, and also the sheriff, not William Patton, who definitely should have hung around for the sequels. I was pissed that he died, but actually Omar Dorsey, who was the sheriff with the cowboy hat that you saw. This guy right here.
Oh, that dude. Yeah, I like that dude. The one that reminds me of Jason Goes to Hell. The bounty hunter.
Yeah,
he looks just
exactly.
like that dude, yeah.
He seemed like he was going to have a cool role in the movie, and then it just never went anywhere. So here's what he said. He said, we wanted to have a bigger story. We were originally going to even shoot them back to back, but as soon as we got it up and running, we took a look at ourselves and we're like, you know what? We should make sure we can do one of them good before we bought off trying to do 3 of them. So we put all of our efforts into trying to make the first one land. There was talk right away of us doing more of these. We just needed to get everybody aligned and see if everybody was down with the vision, and luckily everyone is. David Gordon Green chipped in and he said, we had ambitions of doing 2 with some big ideas, and then decided we should see if anybody liked one at a time, and if they liked the other one, then maybe we'd build on it. And then when that was successful, our additional ideas that weren't integrated into that first one developed into 2. We've written them and we're ready to go. What's so interesting about that to me is the fact that they had so much shit that they decided, once they decided to do only 1 film instead of 2 at the time, they had so much shit that they actually pulled out of Halloween 2018 to keep it as 1 film, singular at the time, that they ended up with a whole new movie because of it. So imagine how much shit was supposed to be in that first movie that we never saw. It's talking about, are you going to take these 2 sequels somewhere crazy with the franchise? You're going to have a guy man in black stepping off a fucking bus?
They're not happening.
McBride says it's just a continuation of it. It's telling the story moving forward. It's not another reinvention or anything like that. And it's this world that we've established, and then it continues beyond the events of the first one.
Like, it's going to be a tight, controlled story with a trilogy, but at the same time, they're going to leave it enough to where it could stand on its own.
I'm glad you said that, Cod. That brings us right into the next part of this. And this is my favorite part of this entire interview. It gets me jacked to the tits, you guys. Because one of the main things that I was worried about when I saw the title Halloween Ends is, and I wasn't too worried about it because as lore goes, Akkad himself said there's one rule, and that's that you can never kill Michael Myers. Which is why we got that crazy stuff happening between H2O and H8 when we thought he was for sure dead. Akkad never wanted Michael to die. Loomis never wanted Michael to die, or Donald Pleasance never wanted him to die. He wanted to do 22 films if he had the chance to. But they asked him about that, about Halloween Ends. Is that the end of the franchise? Is that the end of Michael? What's it mean? And
that's a strong title.
This is beautiful right here. David Gordon Green says, I think ultimately Michael Myers is such an iconic character that no one besides Carpenter is ever going to have ownership of him. This will be our chance at the table to play with these characters, and I'm sure that when we're done, other people will come in and do the same thing or have their own reinvention. Michael Myers is iconic enough to allow that too. He's like James Bond, where you can have different actors and different filmmakers. He represents something simple and scary that he can that he can be translated by lots of different people, and that gets me so excited down in my loins. You guys don't even know.
I also
coffee in the Macho Man morning.
Oh shit!
Jack.
It's laced with steroids.
They don't plan on killing Michael, and if they do kill Michael in this series, he said it perfectly. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Their story's done. They had the chance to tell their story from beginning to end, right? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that the franchise is done. When these sequels make money, they can do all these ideas. They can pick up from Halloween 8. Someone can reboot the franchise. Someone could pick up and do the Rune storyline. Someone could do this. And I'm not saying they would, because it's hard to bring in.
Don't you bring that Rune over on the Ricky Bobby. Don't you do it.
Well, the Cult of Thorn, follow up on Paul Rudd, follow up on Josh Hartnett. They could do so many things with these characters and with this series. It's so fun, and that's why I love this franchise so much. Sometimes it gets confusing, and sometimes things didn't work out, but the lore and the history of it's so fun to delve into. There's a million different things that they could do with Michael Myers, and I'm so glad that at least at the studios, even though there's a bunch of fans saying, kill it, let it be done, it's over with, at least at the studios, and granted, I'm sure their intentions are money, and that's fine, but their idea is not to kill Michael Myers for everyone else. It's to tell our story, have our story told, and then let him live on, and that's fucking beautiful.
When he says we can play around these characters, and then other people can come in and make their own stories based on this James Bond type iconic character that is Michael Myers and everything surrounding him, I feel like it's a really strong indication, and it's only me, and I'm really reading into this bitch hardcore, like I fucking got cross-eyed looking so hard into it, but that James Jude Courtney will come back.
There's my dick.
Oh shit, I knew I lost it.
He better come back. I don't even want to go
James
there.
Jude Courtney will be returning as Michael Myers, because the reason why I feel this way is because I think that Danny McBride was laying out the fact that these are their characters. This is the story they wanted to tell with the characters they built. And therefore, I feel, and the fact that he even brought James Bond in, and that you can have different characters or actors playing him.
Perfect example.
I feel like that he's saying, we've got our James Bond / Michael Myers. We've got our guy, it's James Jude Courtney, and we're going to go the full Monty with him. We're going to take our trilogy and play with that and see how that ends with James Jude Courtney's version of Michael Myers. And then when somebody else comes in, they'll cast a different Michael Myers, much the same as they will after Daniel Craig leaves.
Still no first official word on James Jude Courtney, and that scares me.
But I think that this is a good indication that he will be tapped for the role of Michael Myers.
I think don't just stop there with James Jude Courtney, but with the whole aura, with the Halloween.
But if he got a trilogy, though, it's like Christian Bale getting as Batman.
Yeah, with all of it, it makes perfect sense that you would do this. But then, but it's so beautiful that they're not saying, "Oh, this is the end. We're going to finish it, and then it can be done." We're gonna let it breathe, and we're gonna see what happens. Maybe there's so many cool ideas that people have had, fan scripts, fan films, Halloween Returns, the script, the movie we never got. Yeah. There's so many cool ideas with Michael Myers, and you know, if they tell the definitive Michael versus Laurie story, and they finish that, and that makes sense because everybody's age and everything involved, and they tell it and they do it in a good way, and Michael Myers is still popular and these movies do well at the box office, then why would you not want to explore other options? And I know a COD will, and hopefully everybody will be in on that, and we'll get that sooner rather than later, but I'm so happy to hear that at least these people aren't wanting to just kill this off. And Gordon Green...
the only thing I was going to say, adding on to that, is the fact that that is the most important thing also, as far as the article is telling, is that it's not that they're wanting to end Michael Myers. It's not that. They're wanting to end the arc of Laurie versus Michael Myers. Because it's been going on for 40 goddamn years. We can't have Activia always fucking us up. No, I'm kidding. But they can't keep going with the same story. They can't keep reinventing the same story every year. I don't want to see a remake with Laurie. The Rob Zombie one, fine. I mean, that was all right. The first one was fine. But they're saying it's time to close it. It's time to make the Van Helsing and the monster of Dracula finally have an ultimate battle that settles all battles, and then from there, when the ashes settle, then from there you can go wherever you want. Yeah. You can go this way, you can go that way, you can go with this, or you can go with that. You can go with that, or you can go with this. And then you can have Christopher Walken dancing across the screen. However, at the same time, the main thing is that they are going to send Laurie Strode off, I think, for sure, with Halloween Ends, in a very dramatic, heroic way, and Michael and her are going to go down fighting as the hero versus the villain in the ultimate end all be all, the good versus evil. So,
and a singer of songs will sing. You know, I know people saying, "Oh my God, I don't want another Halloween remake." I don't either. If you're gonna remake Halloween and you start with Laurie Strode and you remake that, shit, fuck it.
I think they're doing such a great thing with these people, because they're gonna open up this possibility that after this story's done, they're like, it's not gonna give you if we were filmmakers, it would be like, well, we got this pressure here because we got to do something with Laurie Strode. They're not gonna.
That's what he's saying. They're not gonna follow up on Halloween Ends. This storyline will be dead. But it leaves it open for someone else not to reboot and tell the Michael Laurie Loomis story again. Yeah. But rather, you could reboot it, but just have like almost a what-if universe. Like, this is a new Halloween movie. There's no Laurie Strode. It's the same town. It's in Haddonfield. It's different different characters,
Whatever, yeah.
different reasons, different motives, different this and that, and you could just tell just a true reimagining of it that doesn't include him stalking one girl or the familial storyline or anything. You can go wherever you want to go. The world is fucking yours, and there's so many cool things to do with Michael Myers and the lore of him. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm already getting ahead of it. We already got 2 awesome movies headed our way. But the last piece of this is David Gordon Green followed up on that, and he said, they're never done telling the Frankenstein story. And at this point, Michael Myers is a classic movie monster, and he is. But our Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode Michael Myers saga will be done. The fun of it is also seeing it end and knowing that it can. If you can just keep trying to elongate it and milk it for all the money, then that's boring.
I love that he said that. Yeah, the fact that he understands that, and he's in the movie studio business, so he understands that I could easily do that. Like, I mean, I could be that guy that'd be like, oh no. We're gonna milk this motherfucker out for 15 movies and we're gonna make a lot of titty money. No, they're not gonna do that. He's like I want to tell a great story. I want to tell a great trilogy. I want to have a great arc that ends, and that's the way it works. You know, you have a beginning, you have a middle, and you have an end, and it's a climactic end if it's in a great story, and that's what he wants to go with. Michael Myers is a great respected monster, much like Aiken to Frankenstein, or Dracula, or the Wolfman, or the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Let's do a great story with him and move on from there. Again, I don't know what better studio or what better people to put this franchise in their hands, and the fact that John Carpenter is as on board as he is. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, I mean, I like her and she's a great actress and yada yada yada. But the thing is, you know, you can get any actor or actress a lot of the times with truckloads of money. You can't get people like John Carpenter, the creator of the character that has for years shunned it in a way and be like, I don't care as long as the fucking checks come in. When you get him actively participating in the sequels and in the 2018 Halloween, then you're on to something. You're doing a really good job.
Well said, dude. I completely agree. So at the end of the day, I'm loving everything I'm hearing come out about these movies, every little bit of it. And I'm not trying to be a Halloween fucking bandwagon person. I'm not trying to say that you should love everything that comes out. I just can't help but be excited that we live in a time we're getting 2 Halloween movies in 2 years.
Did you imagine that, dude? Next year we're going to have another Halloween, and the year after that we're going to have another Halloween, and the year after that we're not going to.
Oh, I hope so. But again, why would you not want more of something that you love? I don't understand it. How do you guys feel about it? And if you don't like it, if you don't like the names, if you don't like David Gordon Green, if you don't like this or that, totally understand.
Small things.
Not
it's,
against
it's pretty like this meniscus.
All I'm asking people to do is step outside of yourself for a second and just be like, why don't I just root for this to be awesome and be excited that it's fucking happening, and then we can all have fun in the bathtub together.
If I stepped outside,
don't question it.
If they step, but you could also step outside yourself and be like, why didn't I go to college? What's going on? Why did my wife leave me?
I didn't.
Fuck it.
I did, but then I left shortly after.
Whatever.
And now we're here. Comment down below with your all thoughts. We live our fucking faces. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button to get some goddamn lamb up in you. And don't forget, every goddamn little squeegee of Halloween news is going to be right here on this fucking channel. So make sure you subscribe and click that fucking bell, John.
You know what? I was working today and Mike sent me this juicy fucking
comb your hair.
This news story about this thing. I felt like when you saw Captain America catch Mjolnir, and I was like Thor, and I'm like, I knew it. Like I knew something amazing was gonna happen today.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie.